Hey kiddos, it's Mommy Hammer here, and today we're going to actually learn how to do galaxies for your miniatures. So here's the example I have here. This is my Void Weaver, and I'm going to use my D&D pile of shame. I have this large dragon as for an example, and we're going to do something fun. I'm going to do half a wing hand painted and half a wing airbrushed. This is going to be the airbrush portion of it. So what you're going to need is to obviously base coat him in black. In this case, I use Pro Acryl's black primer. You're going to need a white. In this case, I'm using Pro Acryl's white primer, but any white could do. You're going to need masking tape that you ripped in random zigzags. It doesn't matter the pattern. And then you're going to need a translucent paint. So this could be a wash, an ink, a speed paint, a contrast paint. So what I'm using is Citadel's contrast paints. And this was the trio I used for the example, my Void Reaver. And since then, I bought these. But any color you want to do works. From what I've seen in NASA pictures, space has all the colors. So you could do green, you could do yellow, you could do whichever you want. But to me, this seems galaxy. So I'm going to set up and we're going to take it away right away. So I already preloaded my airbrush with white paint, and you're gonna wanna adjust the back nozzle so you're lightly spraying. So if you see the difference, you see I'm barely letting paint out. If I move the nozzle up, you see an immediate difference, right? So you want it on the lowest setting that you possibly can. And the idea is we're gonna swirl random swirls, right? And it doesn't matter, random. So we're just gonna just you see that? I'm barely touching. Then with the tape, I like to create like a nebula. So again, whatever I feel like. I like saving the halves so it creates like that void galaxy space. And we'll do that right there. That looks good. Once we take off the tape, you see it created that black void. You see? I like the idea of another spludge. Oh, I like that. And you could actually layer it, like make certain spots more than others. You see how it layered? And then with the spray brush, you also make stars, like where you want your major cluster of stars, like the brightest star. So I go very close and then I pop out. So very close, pop out. You see, that's going to be like the center of the galaxy. So we'll do another one right here and pop out. Those are going to be the brightest spots. So now this is more artistic. Artistic transgression. I think that's enough. Then you go in with your contrast color or whatever translucent color you chose to use. I prefer hand painting the contrast color on top because I like having control of the mixing of colors, and it's kind of like watercoloring. You can use these through an airbrush. So I'm using the Army Painter Monster brush, and I have it actually really wet. And then I'm just gonna go in right in the pot, and I'm just sloppily putting on my paint. And voila. So we're just gonna let that dry. So this is what it looks like all dried up. And now we're gonna do the stars using the airbrush. So I'm lowering this macro air valve right here to like almost barely open, and I'm maxing out the back valve, and that creates this speckling. So focus here. You see? And that's what's going to give us our stars. So I'm just going to barely, boom, there's our galaxy. And you could go as many stars or as little stars as you want. I'm going to go a little heavier down here. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. And then with a brush, just dot in the big stars. So where you have the bright spots from before, where you put in the stars, you could touch them a little bit to brighten them up even further. And then you could honestly do like little crosses, shooting stars, if you want galaxies. And there you have it. So his galaxy wings are done. So this side is airbrush, this side is hand painted. So we're gonna complete him, finish him completely, and that's the tutorial. I hope you enjoyed. Later, guys. Bye.